Hey y'all, welcome to the 1 Minute. Today's Bible reading is Isaiah 7 through 12. onebaptist.org/devotional is where you go to get the Devo. I would encourage you to do that. I certainly would, and we make it available to you where you can print it out, you can download it, you can save it on your phone, whatever you'd like to do. But do that as you are taking an overview of the book of Isaiah before you get into the Bible reading every day. I think it will help you. Isaiah is full of much prophecy. For those who like prophecy, welcome. You'll enjoy it. Not only is he, but all of the major and minor prophets ahead is full of prophecy. And one of the ways you can see that is when it says that day. In that day. In that day, it did happen historically. And yet at the same time, in that day, it will happen prophetically. So I think you'll enjoy that. Now listen, just because I said prophecy, for those of you who are scared of such, don't let that scare you away. I would encourage you again to go to the Word of God and just let it speak to you. Now amongst that though, that is why I told you to go to the Devo and get some help from it. There is a lot of history. There's a lot of practical application you can make for your life, but if you don't rightly divide the Word of God, you can get jacked up making the wrong application. Got to know the context of who it's being spoken to. So I think you're going to have some tremendous learning as you go through these major prophets, preparing you for the minor prophets to come. We're going to have a good time together. Now, I just want to close, speaking of practical application, I want to close our Devo today with you looking at Isaiah chapter 12. Now, prophetically speaking, it starts off by in that day, and it's referring to the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord, I know that many will say Sunday is the day of the Lord, but nowhere in the Bible will you find that. Although it's cool for us to call Sunday the Lord's Day. We know what we're talking about, right? But when the Bible speaks of the day of the Lord, it's talking about that 1,000-year millennial day of the Lord. It is after the Lord has came back to this planet at his second coming. He has now set up his reign, his kingdom, of which he was always about. It will be that time when he will finally get the glory that is due his name. And anybody that knows him should look forward to that millennial time together. In chapter 12, it speaks about that. All those verses are speaking about that day and that time. And I like verse 5, and here's my challenge to you, not from a prophetical application, but for practical application for your life. And I'm going to practice it too, okay? It says in verse 5, "Sing unto the Lord, for he hath done excellent things. This is known in all the earth." Now at that time, it will be known how excellent the Lord is, and the excellent things of which he's done. The testimonies of the Lord will be known. As you know, my favorite Bible verse is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 14, where it says, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." And it's also talking about that millennial day. And I always will sign a letter or on the back end of an email or something of that sort. I'll often say, living this day for that day. I want to live with that day in mind. I want to make the same kind of difference in this day that'll be known in that day. Meaning that where I go, that he can be known. The glory of the Lord can be known. And it causes me to examine myself, to consider my ways and my goings, to see if what can be reflective of that day is reflective of me, of whether or not, just because I'm going, whether the glory of the Lord is known because of such. But right there it says the excellency of the Lord, the excellent things of the Lord are known in all the earth. Right now they're not known. And God has given you and me so that they can be. Who, where, what excellent thing can you make known today? How can you make it known? What will be your song of your life that'll make known the excellency of our God? Let it be that today God can use you to reflect that day where he gets all the glory. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.